Hey, welcome back to Tiny Mike Micro News. I'm your host, Lindsay, and Happy New Year, fam! But the holidays are over and now the real work begins. So today I want to talk to you about friction and stability and how sometimes we need a little friction to find our stability in where we stand or in what we're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to start with an analogy. I don't know how many of you have taken a spin class or ridden a spin bike, but there's typically this big red knob on the bikes. Basically, what it is it's your resistance and it's your emergency brakes. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and then you press it to stop. And the first time I was on one of these bikes, I was like, this is dumb. Can't I just stop pedaling if I want to stop? But you see, you kind of can't. Because what happens is you gain all of this momentum as you pedal. And then you take this resistance off and your legs legit feel out of control because you need the friction and you need the resistance to engage you and to stabilize you. So what I'm saying, the friction between the American people is being and has been playing out on the world stage. And I want to take a moment and I want to make a clear and direct distinction. The marches many of us participated in this summer, the Black-owned and indigenous businesses that we chose to recognize and support, that's the revolution. That is the spark of social justice. That is community, and that was the popular vote last November. What we saw last Thursday at the Capitol was a planned coup and an embarrassment. And at their core, do you know what makes these two things so vastly different? We marched and we blew up our social media accounts with support because we love Black lives. We love trans lives, our LGBTQ communities, our disabled, and we respect our indigenous populations. The domestic attack on our capital was bred of the rhetoric of white supremacy and white insecurity. We all know people, and probably love people, who when personally faced with social injustice are liberal in their hearts, but not in their politics. Why? Why are there 75 million Americans grasping at the fading identity of a country that does not serve all of its people? We cling so tightly to things when we are scared of losing them. It is deeply human to fear losing what we identify with, and it is deeply human to have ego that won't allow us to be wrong. So this is maybe where it gets... So this is maybe where I get a little more complicated. But we have a portion of the collective fighting to maintain the oppressive identity of our country. Why? That's a really broad question to ask someone who supports our current president. I'm suggesting that maybe we can break that down further because maybe we have people clinging to versions of themselves that they're terrified of losing. I don't know. I don't know, but I want to. What I do know, or at least what I believe, is that in its purest form, the human spirit is good. The call right now is to allow the friction to stabilize us in what we believe and what we know to be true justice. Let the friction stabilize us and let the resistance strengthen us to have the hard conversations and maintain compassion for those we don't understand. Allow the resistance to strengthen us, to stay the course, and to begin. And remember, there is no voice too small to be heard. Keep your ears open, keep your heart open, and we'll see you next time on Tiny Mike Micro News.